Om Shanti. This is more than a greeting. It is an invocation of original peace. It identifies you as a child of the highest source and master of your inner kingdom. Yet this inner mastery often feels absent. We watch a world drowning in complex, cascading crises, struggling to maintain a sense of direction. This capacity for self-rule is paralyzed by a single linguistic habit. It is a microscopic flaw in our thinking that keeps us in a state of reaction, preventing us from accessing our inherent strength. The culprit is the mindset of Kaaron, the instinct to find reasons or excuses. It is the habit of blaming external factors for internal friction or worldly failures. We have occupied this reactive loop for half a cycle of time. As long as we rely on these external justifications, our spiritual progress remains stalled. This stall is critical because the world is calling for a muktidata, a liberator. To be a donor of liberation, you must first possess the freedom you intend to give. You cannot guide others toward a home of liberation while your own mind is tethered to a list of personal justifications. A doctor cannot cure a disease they are currently succumbing to. Fulfilling the role of a world liberator now requires the total eradication of the excuse from your own internal vocabulary. This transition requires a specific shift in focus, replacing Kaaron, or excuses, with Nirvan, the active creation of solutions. Real solutions are only possible when we target the root cause of every excuse, de abhiman, or body consciousness. Body consciousness is the illusion of identifying strictly with the physical form. It is the belief that you are defined by temporary relationships, physical status, and material habits. This illusion is persistent. Even when we think a bad habit is gone, it often remains as a dormant seed beneath the surface, waiting for a specific trigger to reappear in our behavior. Trimming the visible branches of bad behavior is a temporary fix. If the core seed of physical identification remains, the old patterns will inevitably return. Uprooting the lineage of body consciousness requires an operation on the core seed itself, rather than just treating the visible symptoms of our personality. The force required to burn these dormant seeds is aseem vairagya, unlimited dispassion. Unlimited dispassion is not an escape from the world. It is the practice of maintaining internal detachment while you are actively engaged in worldly duties and serving others. This is a balance of sadhan and sadhana. You use physical resources and comforts without becoming emotionally dependent on them or their results. This practice counters the human tendency to rely on time to heal our flaws. We often assume that simply waiting will eventually lead to maturity or change. When you wait for time to change you, time becomes your master. A practitioner takes command, actively pulling the timeline closer to uproot their own limitations today. Sovereignty is defined by your ability to burn your own limitations on your own terms, rather than waiting for external circumstances to force a change. Transitioning from excuses to solutions leads to nirvana, a state of total internal liberation. This is the anubhavi morti, or the embodiment of experience. Here, wisdom is no longer a collection of words, it is a radiating presence. Philosophy is easily forgotten during a crisis. For you practice to be effective, others must see the transformation in your behavior and your face, rather than just hearing it in a lecture. Consider how a scientific device like an air conditioner physically alters a room's temperature. The power of internal silence should create a similar, undeniable experience of peace for anyone who enters your presence. The physical atmosphere you create is the evidence of your internal state. It serves as the measurable proof of your liberation. Reject the ordinary, slow progression of a seeker. Aim specifically to be number one in your own practice. This goal requires walking through the modern world entirely free from karmic baggage and heavy attachments. This describes the easy yogi, someone who maintains a constant spiritual connection while performing dynamic, real-world duties. Those who encounter you recognize the reflection of the highest truth in your behavior. Your face becomes a mirror of your internal silence. By eliminating every internal excuse, you walk the earth as a living mirror of peace, fulfilling your role as a world liberator.